New York and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ebro in the morning. Laura Styles, Rosenberg. Get up for my man Set Free, The Compound. If you're not familiar, The Compound now has an art gallery in the South Bronx.
Correct.
You are a toy maker,
Correct.
a collaborator of finer things in art and culture.
Sports and music.
Sports and music predominantly?
All. I just want to put them all out there. You know.
One of the forefathers of the And One mixtape movement. Let's just recap that for those that may not know your history.
Okay. Yeah, started the And One mixtape and a long time ago. You know, it was one of the biggest first marketing campaigns with basketball and hip hop, and we put it out as VHS tapes, and yeah, it was history after that, man. And we actually I just joined back up with them, being a creative director. We did a launch out, Complex Con. We brought a bunch of the old players out.
Oh, that's dope.
It was great, man. We had a moving basketball court, and Kevin Garnett was there. Jadakiss came through the booth. We had Shiggy came by. Was playing. It was dope, though.
The fact that Garnett is still, as a retired basketball player who was the original. He's one of the first guys that went and took that endorsement deal when the shoe.
Totally. He was one of the first players out of high school. One of the biggest athletes the N1 ever had, and he's still relevant.
Yeah.
Kids love him, the culture love him. KG's one of the illest, man. Mm-hmm. Shouts out to Garnett.
And so, what happens now with N1? Does it become our tournaments going to start back up? Does it just the hats and merch stuff?
Everything's gonna go full circle. The plan we just did a Paint the Park program in Oakland, where we brought our E40, we brought our SOB RBE, the young brother All Black was there. Mm-hmm. We had Jadakiss out there, so we refurbished the court and did the playground over. So we're going to do a tour with that, hitting LA, gonna hit Charlotte All-Star, we're gonna hit New Orleans, hit Philly, hit New York. And then from there, looking to, redo everything, look for the next street ball players. And the positioning I'm also trying to do in this N1 was always about culture. So, we were the first people that signed street ball players to contract deals. We had, not record deals, but people who was getting their music on the N1 mixtape being like another outlet. So
before, and ladies and gentlemen, before you was, as an artist, was getting your song on a video game. This was the first way that it happened.
The first way to, have another outlet to get your music. So we're going to do the tour again. We're going to bring back everything.
That's dope. Now, the Compound, your facility over in the Bronx, over in the South Bronx, what's that all about?
You know what it is? It's I call it a creative sparring gym for creative people. So, growing up, when you went to the studio, it was nothing but a board and just a regular space. You went to a photography studio, it was a white room, and it was just a white site. And so everywhere I went growing up through the music industry, I never felt like the creative spaces didn't look creative. So it's like all of them was very stale. So I was like, I want to create a spot where if a painter come, he feel inspired. If a DJ come, a musician, a dancer, a director come. So I just made this like a cultural habitat where you come in, you get to see memorabilia from sports, you see art, you see toys, you see records, wax, you see wrestling dolls, you just see everything that inspired creatives to make their music or whatever you want to do to be creative. I wanted to make a playground for that.
That's dope.
Now, I've seen people question, how can people come by and be a part of the Compound? Or is it open to the public? Is there a certain vetting situation that you have? Do people apply? How does it work?
Well, as far as this, now it has expanded. So the original Compound is just a creative space, and that's pretty much for all the projects that I work in our marketing agency we work on. So that's more private and people we work through the industry and just friends. But then the gallery is more appointment only. So it's basically they go to the website, book an appointment to come to, see an appointment to see the art up there. And we always open when we do the shows. Like our first show was Jonathan Mannion. He did a beautiful 40-piece exhibit. So then it's open to the public.
Gotcha.
And after that, you just make an appointment and then come through.
Super dope. You last time came through, it was
Black Charlie Brown,
which was Ron English
and Compound.
And Compound.
Yep.
You've done how many collaborations since then?
This is our fifth tour.
Fifth toy, and what? So the Charlie Brown with the skull head inside Charlie Brown.
Inside Charlie Brown, and then after that it was SpongeBob ganja grin plant.
Right, and we just the passing of the creator,
SpongeBob, yeah.
SpongeBob.
Totally, and that was the second one, and it went really well. Then we did a Stormtrooper, which was another collaboration called Police Grin, and then we did Che Guevara mixed with a Stormtrooper. That was with an artist named Urban Medium.
You got any of those left?
Yeah, we still got a couple. And we did the theme with the compound toys is like a lot of them come in sets, a black and gold and a black and silver. And so we do have more of those. And now we're up to date with the Black Bruce Lee, the Dragon King.
The Dragon King. And now you actually work with Bruce Lee's estate.
Yeah, well, it's a team of us. kaNO was actually the artist. kaNO was actually originally from New York, and there was his design of the Bruce Lee. And my whole thought process is that growing up as an African American male, we never would look at cartoons in any depth of color. The Jetsons was white, the Flintstones was white. So I kind of wanted to make a spin on a lot of the characters that I love, and Bruce Lee was so influential to our culture. I was like, putting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in a movie, where he was the first black man I ever seen in a karate movie, and at a time when he was like very relevant in the basketball world. So kaNO was somebody that he was already doing a Bruce Lee character, and I said, let me collab with you and let's make Bruce Lee black. We presented it to the family. We explained the story of why we feel like black Bruce Lee is, relevant to the African American community and minorities, period. And they gave us the rights to do it.
How limited is this run?
It's gonna be actually 300 pieces on $150 each.
Nice.
$150.
Nah, 150
Items.
Each.
Items.
Like 150 of the silver and 150 of the gold.
Oh, got it. But how much does it cost though?
$400 each.
$400 each. So, how much is the Charlie Brown worth now? The Ron English Charlie Brown.
It's probably anywhere between 24,000 and 30,000. The 4-foot ones. The smaller ones, the smaller ones that was I think 8-inch. I seen them on eBay. Well, when we bought them out, they was $250. When he sold them, they was $250. I seen them on eBay anywhere for like $1,500 for the set. Different prices, but they range anywhere from maybe $700 for the set to I seen the highest was.
So there's a real 4-foot version of this also?
Nah, we're only doing those are like 20 inches, close to 2 feet, but that's all we're doing. And then just want to shout out the 7 on there. Actually, Carmelo Anthony's actually a part of this drop too.
Oh, yo, shout out to Melo.
Yep, shout out to Melo. He's Melo's really big into the art world, and we had discovered that we both loved the number 7. It was both a part of our company, so we're going to start working on some art projects and a lot of cool things in the future.
And how much is the Stormtrooper Che Guevara worth?
We had when we bought them out, they were $750, and it's a bus. It's like I forgot the inches of the bus, but it's probably it's not a crazy expensive. I've seen them like just doubled in value, and we bought them out last year. But for the rate that we're doing toys, that the increase that we see is remarkable, especially being a black male.
So yeah, they're going up anywhere from 25% once a year, probably, right?
Totally.
Is it really? Is it a toy or is it more an art piece?
You know how I look at it? It's like the sizing. So when you're looking at the ones that's 8 inches and smaller, it's kind of sometimes considered a toy.
Like a collectible little
collectible art / toy. But then when you get into sizing, like these are 20 inches, they don't look more. They're starting to look like art more.
You're not gonna give them to your kids, play around in the mud with them.
Yeah. I don't think any kids want to wrestle around with this thing.
Yeah, you want to preserve it.
The nunchucks.
Yeah, the nunchucks come out.
It could happen.
What could happen?
I mean, you really can't get busy with those. It's not big enough.
Yeah,
a baby, maybe a baby, a karate baby.
A baby might can play with those.
Yeah, a baby might be able to nunchuck someone.
You saw me.
That's kind of
like
nice.
capoeira mixed with.
You saw that.
That was really
It's
impressive.
kind of nice with that.
Really do it all, bro.
Listen,
When
man,
do
that's
these
what I do.
drop? When are these available?
They drop tomorrow.
Ooh.
So this was perfect time at 12 o'clock noon on the Compound website. And we're excited about it. Trying to get a record done to see if I can get a record. We also, not tomorrow, but we're going to do a set of prints. The artist kaNO actually drew the characters out.
Oh,
so
dope.
That's going to be like just, we try to market it not just when it comes out, but like a couple weeks later do the set of prints.
Yeah.
We're going to do a record to go with it with couple hip hop artists.
Now you toy collection, right? Art collection. You know, I really began to understand it, I think, around early Bathing Ape, right? Because Nigo.
2004,
yeah,
2006.
like Nigo was like, yo, his toy collection. I was like, what, toy? And then Kid Robot started to happen, and Swizz was kind of in that. And then, you know, and then obviously you start hearing the Basquiats and the this and the that, and everybody as hip hop, I guess, came of age and actually started to have money to buy things, right, and participate in these things. It's become its own kind of, I guess, subculture of hip hop, right? In a way, right? Like you go down to Art Basel, which is I think next week or whatever in Miami, and I mean literally everybody's got a party with a hip hop artist or a DJ
and a toy
the art world
artist.
is very hip hop.
But you know what it is? I think it's. I mean, this is how I explain it. It's always been there, you know. But I don't think people was wanting to show or to talk about it. I mean, look at our DJ names. You got Clark Kent. You got Green Lantern.
Right, with the comics.
Yeah, all the
and the art. Yeah, that kind of art.
The comics, but the comics was also toys. So I think like Just Blaze, huge collector. Kwame, huge collector.
Lenny S, huge.
Lenny S is huge collector. So many.
And then
Pete
Swizz,
Rock.
who we brought up, Pete Rock.
He's a huge.
And even the graffiti artists, right? Street art, which
Yeah,
I meant to say that with regard to where the art world is at, because you talk about that all the time, Laura. You know a lot of those people.
Well, that is a part of our culture. Graffiti has always been a part
Well,
of
no,
our
I mean,
culture.
but now it's become mainstream art culture.
Totally. I mean, what I always been saying in a lot of interviews I've been doing is that graffiti has built some of the world's blue chip artists now. You have Futura, you have Stash, Cause. You know, he's like the Andy Warhol of our time now. You got like Barry McGee from the West Coast, whose name is Twist. You have Retina, which is just did the collaboration with Khaled. But
Did you say Cause?
yeah, Cause. I said Cause.
Yeah.
And Retina just did a collaboration with Khaled, but started from graffiti. So now graffiti writers are being looked at as the grand hurrah of art now, but they always been doing this.
Listen, his name is Set Free Richardson, The Compound. Follow him at the compound _ or Set Free Richardson.
Nah, that you can Google that. Something will come up, but it's I am _
Set Free.
Set Free. That's it.
I am set free.
There it is, man. Give it up for him one
Tomorrow
time.
noon.
Tomorrow noon, these drop.
Compound
Dragon
website.
King, Black Bruce Lee.